Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 9, Closure. This was a crazy episode leading up to the fall finale, and to be completely honest, I thought that this would probably be the finale based on how it ended with Coulson knocked out after he lands on the planet, and this easily could have been the fall finale episode because they kill off two characters. We get Rosalind killed in the beginning, which was really crazy, and that really sucked for Coulson. And then we have her second in command. He gets killed off, which really sucks. It kind of shows how unimportant he was. It was like basically his status as a character was like Rosalind, and then this guy who's unfortunately I still don't know his name because he's barely even as her second in command. He's hardly been in the show, to be totally honest. So it was like his life was so tethered to hers. So she died, he dies afterwards, and that really sucked because he got taken out by the guy that we saw fight against Bobby and Hunter. So he comes in, or he basically controls him, makes him shoot the other people, and then he flips the gun on him and shoots him in the head. So that really sucked. I thought it would be someone different, and I thought he was under complete mind control for a second, and he was just gonna aim the gun at them afterwards. But turns out to be the guy with telekinesis. He comes back into play. Fitz and Simmons get kidnapped. They're taken. We do find out that the guy actually did have more than just the one block, which is something I figured had to happen because it's like they're going to get back to the planet somehow. So it had to be multiple pieces out there, and we find out that there were. So they use that. We get Ward. We get his brother. We get a crazy version of Coulson, which I truly loved Coulson in this episode because he's heartbroken, and then he goes through and it's like he has to kill this person that he's wanted dead for quite some time, and they have the scene with him and Hunter where he's choking Hunter because he failed at the mission, and it's kind of funny that he did that because he was ignoring the fact that even during that moment there was that part with him kind of having the decision to save Andrew. And it was funny that he didn't bring that up. I thought he would have mentioned, like, you risked Andrew's life and you still failed or something. But he basically just said you failed the mission, you're supposed to kill him. But it was really good to see him so angry. It was cool, at least. It wasn't nice or happy because of, obviously, why it happened. But it was definitely cool. And him on the edge was very different. And he leaves Mac in charge, which was really awesome. Mac was a pretty cool director. Towards the end of this episode, he did give a pretty cool speech, which I thought was pretty awesome. It's like, look, I'm clearing you guys for the field. You got superpowers. A lot of other people don't. We have Daisy with superpowers, and now I need you two guys to help. So either help or let the bad guys win. And I was like, that was a pretty good, speech. So it was kind of awesome. And he's really taking charge as the director in this episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in this next episode because he talks about how they're outnumbered, outgunned, and really they're going in for a rescue mission. It's not just shoot up the place or anything. It's like we have to get in and find our people. So there's a lot to go into them getting, basically to this castle, and the whole mission involved in that. And they might end up having to save Bobby and Hunter depending on how that went out because we really don't know. The ship's getting shot up. Coulson's like, well, I gotta jump, and he has an awesome. That was a really cool moment too, where it's just the tower's just wide open, and he just dives straight down, and boom, he's right in the portal. I was like, that was really cool. That that's how that played out. Easily could have just turned off, and it could have just been, and he's dead. But of course, he wasn't gonna die, and he goes straight through the portal. Obviously, based on the promo, he's not knocked out for too long because obviously he's up, so nothing really happens to him. He's probably just knocked out for quite a while, and he's further away from like Ward and Fitz. But ultimately, he wakes up. I'm sure we'll see Will in the next episode, which would be pretty interesting. We have whatever the crazy madness creature thing, this crazy inhuman thing is. That's a big deal for like Lincoln. Like, what if we open up this portal and this thing actually does get out? And I think it will. I think they're gonna get, we'll get Ward back, we'll get Coulson, we'll get Fitz back. All those other people are dead. But we'll also be getting whatever this Inhuman is, and we'll most likely get Will as well. He'll actually get brought back too. But this Inhuman will be brought back as well, and we'll see what it actually is meant to be, like what it is and what it. I would assume it has to be. Maybe it's just mind control, and that would explain why people see all sorts of different things. But it seems like it's not exactly under control of its abilities 100% because it seems to just show up as like random stuff that it sees, but it doesn't think of ideas like, oh, I could be like a T-Rex or something, do crazy stuff. We only see it as like, oh, it's a figure in a black cloak, or it looks like an astronaut with, it's an astronaut with a saber or something crazy like that. It's always really simple humanoid figures, so maybe that's why it does that, or it only shows, kind of projects those images to people because it isn't 100% there as far as its mindset, but ultimately it's evil still. It kind of tells people like, hey, kill each other, pretty much, and then it tries to kill other people because it's just bad for whatever, just for bad sake, I guess. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to that. I cannot wait to see how they play this out. This was a really good episode leading up to a mid-season finale. It seemed like the type of episode that honestly could lead up to the season finale based on whatever we get, and that's generally how mid-season finales are. They're almost as good as the regular season finale, if not as good. Like that, those are always the best mid-season finales, where it's like that crazy ending leaves you wanting so much more. And based on how this episode ended and what they might do in this next one, I think this will be a really great mid-season finale for the show. I'm really looking forward to it. Love this episode. I think just like there was good action in it for sure. Like we had that first scene with Coulson. That was pretty much all the action in the whole episode, really. But this was a character episode, and it was tense and sad and exciting all the way through. And I cannot wait to see what they do for this winter finale. I don't know what to expect from this Inhuman that's been living for a super long time, basically with nothing to eat unless it's been eating like that weird underwater thing. That's pretty much it. So whatever this thing is, I think it's gonna come out. It's gonna come to Earth, and then we have not only Lash, but whatever this new ancient, basically Inhuman is. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna get released by the end of this next episode. I kind of hope it does, because we're gonna get answers either way. But I don't think we're gonna get the answer by the end of the next episode, because it's gonna get freed, and then the answer is gonna come in the second half of the season, because they're gonna need to do a lot of research to figure out what this crazy, seemingly immortal creature, really is. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, I really love this episode. It was a great character episode all around, really. They had a great moment after Coulson kind of calmed down a bit and he was doing all the interrogations, and they talk about Ward from everyone, or not everyone, but really they go through like the important, couple of people. So I certainly love that. Of course, the scene with Ward and his brother was really good too, and Coulson being so dark, during that moment was really good, and how they tricked Ward, and how we really find out, like Hunter says, like, oh man, his brother just wants him dead because he sucks as a human being. So that was a great moment, and despite the fact that they were doing that to trick him, his brother finally had a chance to say a lot of things that, we hadn't heard before. So I love that moment. It's like, they used to be best friends, but ever since he pushed him down the well, that's when he changed. And it was like, you killed our parents, you killed our brother, you did all this crazy stuff, but you don't understand how bad it really was. And so he got to get out all this frustration, and we hear a lot of different stuff, from Ward's side of things. And it was really good. This was definitely a great episode to show how attached Ward was to, kind of like Daisy says, like, he cares too much, and that was his issue. It was like he cared so much that he almost went beyond realizing what he was doing, because he just cared. It was like, well, I care for you, but he didn't realize how bad some of the things were that he was doing, because it was just like, well, I care for you, so I'm going to kill our parents who sucked. And that was pretty much it. So I really loved what they did with Ward in this episode as well. Like I said a bunch of times already, really looking forward to what they're gonna do in the next episode. But I want to know what you guys. I want to know what you guys are gonna expecting to see in this winter finale, and I want to know what you guys want to see. And because I'm so sure they're not gonna kill off whatever this ancient inhuman thing is, I really think that it's gonna show up again. So if it gets released, or even if it doesn't, it's gonna show up. I'm assuming it's just gonna get released, and they're gonna be officially done with this extra world, because they'll have Will, and they'll have whatever this new thing is, which may or may not end up teaming up with Lash, because Lash definitely isn't done for the season. So I don't know if they do kill off the thing. That would be interesting, because at least we'll get the answer. But because it's TV, it's like you can always just stretch it out. I feel like that's what they're gonna do with this. But I want to know what you guys think, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.